If you've spent any time online in the last 20 years, you've probably seen this chilling chart. It sends a terrifying message. For every year you delay retirement, you lose 2 years of your life. It basically says if you wait until 65 to retire, you'll probably drop dead right after cashing your first pension check. Because this chart, which claimed to be based on internal Boeing data, caused such massive panic, Boeing actually had to issue an official memo to debunk it. They analyzed over 5,000 of their retirees over a 30-year period and found the exact opposite. No matter what age they retired, they actually lived longer than the national average. This chart is a complete urban legend. Now, hearing that, you might be breathing a sigh of relief. You're probably thinking, great, I can safely grind away until 65. Wait. Don't relax just yet. Because while that chart is fake today, I'm going to reveal a very real and very brutal truth. Defaulting your retirement to age 62 or 65 is probably the most expensive, dangerous, and life-wasting financial decision you will ever make. For the next 15 minutes, I'm not going to feed you motivational fluff. I'm going to use real data, hidden IRS loopholes, and a lifestyle reverse engineering strategy that the wealthy use to completely destroy the myth that you need $3 million to retire. We're going to cover why working 5 extra years could actually cost you hundreds of thousands of dollars in massive tax traps. How to use the little-known Rule of 55 and Section 72T to access your retirement accounts completely penalty-free. And exactly how to survive that terrifying healthcare gap before Medicare kicks in. If you're currently dealing with one more year syndrome, or you're anywhere between 45 and 60 right now, you need to watch this video to the end, because it might literally buy back the best decade of your life. Let's start with a reality check. Why do we all just blindly accept that 65 is the normal age to retire? Is it because human biology peaks at 65 for traveling the world? Is it because your brain suddenly needs a break? Absolutely not. It's based entirely on government bureaucracy. 62 is when you can first claim Social Security, and 65 is when Medicare kicks in. You are letting a government calendar dictate the best years of your life. Top financial planner Michael Kitces has this brilliant concept called the retirement spending smile. He breaks retirement down into 3 distinct phases, and this is something Wall Street rarely talks about. Phase 1. The go-go years, roughly ages 55 to 65. During this decade, your mortgage is likely low or gone. The kids are out of the house, and crucially, you still have your health and energy. You want to hike Machu Picchu, ski the Alps, chase your grandkids around the yard? Your body says, let's go. Phase 2, the slow-go years, roughly 65 to 75. You might have more money in the bank, but your pace naturally slows down. Those 12-hour international flights start to make your back ache. Skiing in Switzerland turns into a flat walking trail in Colorado. Exploring Patagonia becomes sitting on a beach in Florida. Phase 3, the no-go years, age 75 and beyond. Your world inevitably shrinks. Comfort and safety replace adventure, and your biggest expenses shift heavily toward healthcare. So, when you choose to stay in that stressful office job until 65 just to play it safe, what are you actually trading? I had a client named David, a highly paid aerospace engineer. He was planning to grind it out until 65. When we finally ran his numbers and reverse engineered his life, we found he could actually retire at 58 without sacrificing his lifestyle. He looked at the spreadsheet, sat in silence for a moment, and said, "Are you telling me I was about to trade the last 7 truly healthy years of my life just to hoard a pile of money I'll never spend and will probably just leave to my kids?" He put in his 2 weeks' notice the next month. Listen to me, you can use compound interest to make more money, but there is no compounding rate in the universe that can trade a 65-year-old body for a 55-year-old's energy. Now, I know exactly what you're thinking, but Aaron, if I retire at 55 and I want to spend $10,000 a month, won't I run out of money? Don't I need like $3 or $4 million? All right, let's get into the hard math. I'm going to share a counterintuitive truth. What bankrupts people in retirement isn't usually retiring too early. It's failing to understand asset location. In fact, waiting until 65 can trap you in a financial nightmare. Let's say your goal is to spend $10,000 a month after taxes in retirement. That's $120,000 a year of spending power. Scenario 1. The 65-year-old one more year trap. You played it safe. You worked until 65, and congratulations, you saved $2.5 million. But all of it is in a traditional 401k and traditional IRA, pre-tax money. You think you're rich?
Wrong? You haven't paid a dime of tax on that money yet?
Once you hit age 73, the IRS drops the hammer with something called RMDs, required minimum distributions. Whether you need the money or not, the government forces you to withdraw massive chunks of that account and taxes it at ordinary income rates. Working those extra 5 years just inflated your pre-tax balloon. Now, your Social Security might be taxed. Your Medicare premiums will skyrocket through IRA surcharges, and you'll spend the next decade doing painful tax homework instead of enjoying your life. Scenario 2. The smart 55-year-old. The $300,000 secret. If you retire at 55, you don't actually need $3 million. If you structured your wealth right, say 50% in pre-tax accounts, like an IRA, and 50% in a taxable brokerage account, you can pull off the ultimate tax arbitrage. During this decade, 55 to 65, you have no W-2 salary. Your income drops to almost zero. You can pull living expenses from your brokerage account and pay exactly 0% in long-term capital gains taxes if you stay under certain limits for married couples. At the same time, because your tax bracket is so low, you can slowly convert your pre-tax IRA money into a Roth IRA. Doing a Roth conversion ladder, you pay minimal taxes now, and that money grows tax-free forever. The math shows that by using this strategy, the total nest egg you need to retire at 55 could be $300,000 less than if you waited until 65. Working longer doesn't always make you richer, but smart tax planning absolutely does. You might be wondering, how do I actually calculate my number without guessing? Wall Street loves to tell you that you need 80% of your pre-retirement income to survive. Forget that rule, that is Wall Street BS designed to keep you on the accumulation hamster wheel so they can keep charging you management fees. The wealthy and top-tier financial planners use a process called lifestyle reverse engineering. It happens in 3 steps. Step 1, focus on the vision, not the number. What do your 50s and 60s actually look like? Are you golfing twice a month? Taking a 2-week trip to Europe every year? Buying an RV to cross the country? Write down the exact picture. Step 2. Put a real price tag on it. Stop guessing, go online, look up the flights. Check the country club membership fees. Price out the RV parks. Build a realistic line-item budget based on facts. Step 3. Purge the work tax. This is the step 90% of people miss. You think your expenses will stay the same in retirement? Think again. Calculate how much you're paying right now just to have a job. The gas for commuting, the parking fees, dry cleaning for your suits, the overpriced business lunches, the convenience takeout because you're too exhausted to cook, the stress-induced impulse buying. For high-income earners, this work tax can easily cost $2,000 to $5,000 every single month. Once you purge the work tax, you'll be shocked to realize that funding your dream retirement might actually cost 20% to 30% less than your current life. You might actually be ready to retire right now. Okay, let's say the math makes sense and you're ready to tell your boss goodbye at 55. But here comes the giant elephant in the room. All your money is locked in a 401k or IRA. If you touch it before age 59 and a half, the IRS hits you with a massive 10% penalty. How do you bridge that 4 to 5 year income gap? And what about the terrifying healthcare gap before Medicare? Grab a pen. Here are the 5 ultimate 100% legal tools early retirees use to build an unbreakable income bridge. Tool number 1, the early retiree's moat, the taxable brokerage account. There are no age limits and no early withdrawal penalties here. If you're invested in low-turnover index funds like the S&P 500, like VOO, it's highly tax-efficient. This is your primary ATM for the first few years of early retirement. Tool number 2, the ultimate hack, the rule of 55. This is a massive legal loophole. If you leave your job in or after the year you turn 55, you can withdraw money from that current employer's 401k completely penalty-free. If you're a first responder, it's age 50. Warning, do not roll this money into an IRA. Once it leaves the employer's plan, this superpower disappears instantly. And remember, it only applies to the job you just left, not old 401ks. Tool number 3, rigid but effective. Rule 72T divided by SEP. If your money is already in an IRA, you can use the 72T rule. It lets you take penalty-free withdrawals based on a strict IRS life expectancy formula. The catch? You must take these exact equal payments for at least 5 years or until you hit 59.5, whichever is longer. If you change the amount by even a single penny, the IRS will retroactively hit you with all the penalties and interest. Use with extreme caution. Tool number 4, the Roth conversion ladder. Like we talked about earlier, when you retire at 50 or 55, your income drops. You convert chunks of your pre-tax IRA into a Roth IRA at a very low tax rate. The magic rule here is, once that converted money has been sitting in the Roth for 5 full years, you can withdraw the principal completely tax-free and penalty-free. You build a rolling 5-year pipeline of tax-free cash. Tool number 5, the healthcare savior, the HSA. What about health insurance? Yes, it's a gap, but it's solvable. You can use COBRA for 18 months. Then, because your taxable income is low in early retirement, you can often get massive subsidies on the ACA Obamacare marketplace. But the real secret weapon is the HSA Health Savings Account. If you paid cash for medical bills in your 30s and 40s and saved those receipts, you can now withdraw that money from your HSA completely tax-free to cover your current living expenses or insurance premiums. It's triple tax advantage magic. Do you see it now? Early retirement isn't about draining one account. It's a precision-engineered system. You're building an income bridge. If the financial data gave you the confidence you needed, I want to spend these last 2 minutes touching on something even more important, your mind. Check out this chart. It's the happiness U-curve. In our 40s and early 50s, we are crushed by the pressures of careers, mortgages, and raising kids. Happiness hits rock bottom. But right around 55, when people take back control of their time, happiness skyrockets. Yet, almost half of early retirees feel depressed in their first year. Some even run back to their jobs. Why? Because they made a fatal psychological mistake. They retired from something instead of retiring to something. The word retirement actually dates back to the 1550s, and it literally meant to retreat or withdraw. But today, we need to completely rename this phase of life. These are your discovery years. For decades, your identity has been wrapped up in being a director, a VP, or a senior engineer. When you take off that armor, if you don't know why you're waking up in the morning, you aren't ready to retire. Retirement isn't sitting on a couch watching TV until you die. You still need structure. You still need social connection. You need a purpose, whether that's training to do a pull-up, learning Spanish, or volunteering in your community twice a week. Don't let society's default numbers rob you of the right to dictate your own life. Don't spend your whole life chasing the illusion of just a little bit more, and forget that the entire point of building wealth is to buy back your freedom. Before you go, I have a homework assignment for you. Grab a piece of paper right now and write down, if you didn't have to go to work next Tuesday, exactly how would you spend your entire day. Let me know your answer in the comments below. I'm going to feature the best ones in my next video. If this video shifted your perspective and gave you real, actionable value, please hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. More importantly, share this video with your spouse or that friend who complains about being burnt out but is too scared to make a change. Remember, money is meant to fund a great life, not a life of anxiety. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.